Welcome to r/entitled people, where we share stories from your lives about people who think the rules don't apply to them, and they should get what they want. Thank you, friends, for subscribing to the channel, and for so many likes. And today we have 3 great stories. So subscribe, hit the like button, and let's begin. The first story, entitled Old Lady's $18 Trespassing Tantrum, a lesson in policy enforcement. The second story, Karma Strikes Back. Micromanaging boss faces her own downfall. The third story, surviving a nightmare job, recognizing red flags and moving forward. The first story is, old lady makes a scene and trespasses over $18. So, disclaimer, I don't work in a hotel, but I do work for in-house marketing and customer service for a Korean spa in my area that offers overnight stays. I used to work the floor, so I'm pretty familiar with all sorts of customer service issues that come through our door. But this was a new one. For some background, Korean spas have admission fees that are essentially the guest day pass to use all the saunas, lounge areas, different types of hot tubs, etc. And overall, just relax with no time limit. Our spa sells individual passes, but we also sell them in a discounted multiple entry bundle, and they're valid on any day up to their 2-year expiration date. On January 1st, we rolled out a new policy allowing us to still accept expired tickets, but we just have to upcharge guests for that day's admission cost. On weekdays, the upcharge would be $6, and on weekends, it would be $11. Previously, we used to just not accept the tickets altogether and make guests pay full price, so this is honestly an improvement from a customer standpoint. And so far, most of our guests have been more than happy to pay the fee, since they can still use their expired tickets. Cue this old lady who comes in a couple days ago, a weekday, with what looked to be her husband and a friend. Now, our office is situated right by the front door and lobby, so managers can be on hand easily whenever the check-in and check-out lines get busy. The door to the office is ajar, but also says, employees only in clear signage. This will be important later. A front desk attendant comes in and lets us know that a guest has 3 expired admission tickets, doesn't want to pay the fee, which would only have been $18, and was told by a manager that goes to her church that her ticket would still be accepted. So the floor manager for the day goes out to the front desk to talk to her. Next thing you know, us in the office hear a whole lot of yelling and arguing going back and forth. We're nosy and look at the cameras. And we see this old lady waving her hands around and refusing to be let in for free, while the manager just repeats that he cannot do that for her. At one point, she even tried to throw the tickets over the desk at him. Finally, after about 20 minutes of this, she pays and then goes in with her guests. Manager comes back to the office. Everything seems peachy. But about 30 minutes later, this old lady walks right the F through our office door. Employees only, holding her arm out and pointing daggers at the manager she spoke to. Meanwhile, me and my coworkers are just sitting at our laptops doing our work with this lady way too close to our table. M equals manager. CL equals crazy lady. CL, are you the manager here? M, getting up from his seat. Yes ma'am, I'm one of the managers, what can I do for you? CL, you charged me for the entry fee even though I had tickets. M, well, ma'am, your tickets were expired, so we just needed to charge you for the difference in price. You were still able to use your tickets. CL, well, that's ridiculous. What kind of policy is that? These tickets are supposed to be free. M, I apologize, but they expire after 2 years. So instead of turning you away entirely, our policy is to have guests match the difference. We announced it on our website and our social media at the beginning of the month. I can show it to you on our website if you'd like. CL, well, I didn't see that. M, well, just because you didn't see it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. Again, I'm happy to show you where we have it in our policy list. CL, this is absolutely ridiculous. 45 years I've been in this country. 45 years, and I've never seen anything like this. M, ma'am, I can assure you that many other businesses have expiration dates on their coupons. CL, no they don't, I've never seen that. M, they definitely do, and I'm just following company policy. CL, company policy, that's ridiculous. You made this policy. M, ma'am, I did not make this policy. CL, yes you did. M, again, I am not the policy maker, I'm just the policy upholder. CL, you made this policy and it's a stupid policy. So they went back and forth like this for about 15 minutes. Clearly my coworkers and I are immature, because we kinda wanted to laugh at how out of pocket the whole situation was. And it got hard to keep a straight face the angrier we got. Finally, my manager was clearly getting fed up with this old lady. M, Ma'am, you're causing a scene and distracting our employees as you walked into an employees-only area. I'm happy to discuss this with you outside the office. They moved right outside the doors, but we can still hear them arguing. Still in awe of how my manager stayed calm and kept his voice level, even as she screamed at him. CL, still going off about how the new policy sucks and is bad business, among all sorts of other things. M, I'm sorry, but if you continue disrupting our environment like this, we will have to ask you to leave the premises. CL, leave the premises? I was forced to pay. M, I can show you in the lobby where we have our facility rules stating we have the right to remove any customers who are deemed to be disruptive and abusive towards staff. CL, well, I won't be leaving. I want to know why I had to pay $18 extra. M, oh, you're not leaving? I'll have to call the police then if you refuse to leave. CL, go ahead then. Call the police if you want. I'm the one who was scammed. M, all right, I will. So just to get your verbal acknowledgement of this, you're refusing to leave private property? CL, yes, I am. M, okay, great. Before I call, can I just confirm again that you're refusing to leave and admit to trespassing into an employees-only area? CL, yes, because you made a bad policy. M, so I can call the police? CL, go ahead and call the police, I won't leave. M, so again, just to confirm again, you will not leave even after you've been asked and told that we have the right to remove disruptive people from the building? CL tired of these circles. Yes, do it. Go ahead and call them. So my manager pulled out his phone, and from what it sounded like, started dialing. I think her other guests finally came and collected her before anything could actually happen. And they ended up leaving as she muttered to herself about the crazy, ridiculous policy. To top it all off, my manager walked back into the office like nothing even happened. No police were called after all, but we were all just shook at how that one event really took up a good chunk of our workday. And props to our manager for not bending over for entitled customers. Not a single bit. I do wish I could have seen this little old lady try to explain this waste of time to the responding officers that would have showed up. Honestly, you could do a full-fledged comedy show with this story. This old lady, she's a real disaster. Perhaps she forgot that time marches on and coupons can't expire. She started this show trying to get freebies, and even threw tickets at the manager like it was some kind of theater production. Then she decided to continue the performance by following you through every department of the store like a passionate fan. And when she was kicked out into the street, it was like she performed the act of a finale, screaming that it was all because of stupid politics. It was a truly comical performance. Well done for managing to remain professional and handling this star calmly. And I hope other customers were able to enjoy their vacations without the dramatic antics of the old lady. But it's hard not to laugh when I imagine the lady trying to explain it to the police. It would certainly be interesting to watch. The second story is, a-hole boss who fired me got fired herself. 2 years ago, I worked at a credit union. New branch manager came in shortly after me. She hated me right away and micromanaged me to an extreme. It was to the point that other seasoned employees started coming up and asking me what her deal with me was, since she would often berate me in front of them. They were often confused and said, "But you did nothing wrong," which was true. I did my job well, was respected, and made no mistakes with handling money, etc. In fact, my boss admitted that she made more mistakes than me when she was new. The other employees quietly suggested I go to HR. When I tried to, I was terminated. The hit to my self-esteem from all the gaslighting hurt for a very long time. I've always prided myself on being a good worker. Fast forward to today when I went into a branch. I still have a bank account with the credit union, and started talking to the employees. It quickly comes up that I'm a former employee. They tell me my old boss is no longer with the company and I'm floored. She was with the company 11 years, and told us how hard and long she worked to become a branch manager. BMs usually stay in their branches for years, and it takes a lot for them to get the axe. I looked her up on LinkedIn. She had only been a BM for 10 months. She's already worked for 2 other banks and not as a manager. She definitely got fired. I don't believe in karma, but man, I might after today. This is the apotheosis of justice. The evil boss who fired you for no reason finally gets what she deserves. It's like a plot from a movie where the villain finally gets his retribution, all before your eyes. What a thankful feeling to learn that she no longer works for that company, especially considering how she treated you. As the saying goes, what you sow is what you reap, and it seems she had to reap a lot more than you did. So now you're free from her toxic leadership, and that should be a real relief. Let her go and find other jobs where she can't hurt any more normal employees. It's only fair that good employees get recognized, and those who abuse their power realize what real responsibility is. And someone up there seems to have finally realized it. The third story is, if you pick up on early red flags, just leave. This happened around 4 years ago. To complement my degree, I had just completed a CIM, Chartered Institute of Marketing course in 2018. I wanted to transition from field marketing to digital marketing as a career. I believed I'd struck gold when I quickly found and accepted a position as a digital marketing executive at an agency about a 10-minute walk from my flat. Unfortunately, this turned into a 3-month nightmare, and I wanted to share my experience so others can avoid a similar situation. Extra context, the agency is run by a family, and my future manager Jay is the daughter of the owner, M. The interview comes first. Everything appeared to be in order, so I stated that owing to my recent course, I had the knowledge and theory of how to perform the role, but that I wanted a role that would allow me to get practical experience. This is relevant later. What I now notice as the first red flag is that my interviewers, father and daughter, stated without prompting that the position is vacant because the employee has found their ideal job, not because of anything wrong with the company. It was eventually discovered that it was the result of bullying. Red flag number 2. The first day of the week. There was no formal induction procedure. Jay informed me the first day that she didn't have time for me, and that I should sit down and watch some videos. She took the rest of the week off the next day and assigned me Google accreditation and certificates to complete, and to contact her if I needed her. I finished these in 2 days, and because I was unsupervised, I emailed her for further instruction, but never received a response. The third red flag is incompetence. I started conducting client work within a few weeks, and was told to upload a social media plan. I spotted some significant errors and alerted the account manager. What I didn't realize was that my manager had completed the work. This resulted in some tension between the two managers, and my boss went out of her way to criticize everything I did. Everything I did after that was labeled as wrong, with little or no feedback other than do it again. During this time, Jay shattered my self-esteem and drove me to depression. During this time, I discovered that Jay enjoys punching a punching bag in the office. If I go past probation, I can become more autonomous from my manager, was the sole reason I stayed. I was attacked and fired for gross misconduct, nearly 3 months into my probation, and near the end of my probation. What was the offense? Sending an external email with a company name and the content. A company name appears to be classified information. There was nothing more in the email, and it didn't reveal any client information, just the name. However, I live in the United Kingdom, and they did not follow the proper protocol. Despite being on probation, I still have some rights. It all started on a Tuesday morning when I had my weekly update meeting with my boss. When she said she was ready, I went to the conference room and saw her father, M, there. He accused me of wrongdoing, mocked my professionalism at work, and accused me of lying in the interview, and then insulted me with personal attacks. When I inquired if I could defend myself or lay out my case, I was told emphatically no. In the UK, there's a procedure for gross misconduct. The employee charged must be given notice, but can be denied temporary access to business premises, and must be allowed to bring a witness. I was denied both. I was escorted out of the building, and that was that. They then attempted to defraud me of my final pay. I eventually took them to court, and was awarded my compensation. Furthermore, half of their digital staff left within 2 weeks of my firing, followed by half of their programming team, with some contacting me about suing the company. But it was a terrific, though horrible learning experience. I now look for the red flags I stated, and I obtained a new job within a few weeks, which turned out to be an amazing experience. The main drawback was that it took some time for me to overcome my anxiety whenever my new boss requested a meeting. After 4 years, I'm confident that it wasn't my fault, because I now oversee European digital marketing for a huge corporation. To cut a long story short, a career-changing job turned into a 3-month hellhole. This story is really outrageous. It's incredibly unfair how you were treated during your case and how you were fired. You raised many red flags, and your actions in this situation were appropriate. It's important that you get the compensation you're entitled to, and find a new job that you enjoy. Your experience has taught you to be careful and look for warning signs. Now you've moved to a higher level in your career, and this is a testament to your strong will and ability to get out of difficult situations. We wish you success in your new position and further growth. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.